we're going back to Benedict's package, and so I will just get the intro up. It's all over because of the events in Korea. We're moving things around a lot so we can get the latest from Anna Fifield as there is more stuff to tell us. Let's return to this story about levies on electric cars. No, sorry, on imported petrol vehicles, because electric cars are expensive and the government is looking to offset the cost of them to get more people into them and to mitigate New Zealand's emissions. We're going to return to the piece we didn't have before from Benedict Collins, and this time we believe it's in the House.
You know, what we all know, right, is that electric vehicles are a lot cheaper to run because they're roughly about a third of the price per kilometre for the, electricity cost versus petrol. They're a lot cheaper to maintain because they've got fewer moving parts, but the upfront cost of the vehicle is prohibitive.
And that's why James Shaw says the government is looking at the option of introducing a levy on imported petrol vehicles. Under the proposed scheme, vehicle importers would pay a fee for bringing in a car that runs on fossil fuel, or receive a rebate for an electric or low-emission vehicle. But National's transport spokesperson Jamie Lee Ross says the proposed levy would hit people hard at the lower end of the socio-economic spectrum.
It would effectively be a tax on the poor. You'd see the poorest New Zealanders who are purchasing second-hand Japanese imports having to pay the levy, which would go towards subsidising electric vehicles for those who are more likely to be wealthier and more able to purchase an electric vehicle.
Mr Ross says instead of the levy, the government should be following National's lead on electric vehicles.
I'd encourage this government to continue with what National did by exempting road user charges. I'd encourage them to continue to purchase more electric vehicles as a government, so the government fleet is full of more electric vehicles.
And ex-leader David Seymour says a levy would be a step too far.
Now, the government already has a large number of incentives that encourage people to use electric vehicles. If those aren't working, then I think you have to ask the question whether it actually makes sense for people to be getting into them, or whether we should actually be waiting until technology improves and they become more affordable and longer range.
The Energy and Resources Minister, Megan Woods, recently bought an electric vehicle herself and says charging station infrastructure is being rolled out across the country so drivers don't get caught short.
We're at a point, obviously, within our main cities where people can very comfortably use an EV. They can charge it at home, they can do their daily travels and go home and charge it again. Where the challenge is coming is where people need to drive between cities, and that's why ECA have a focus on making sure that we have that spread of charging infrastructure around the country.
As of February, there were 124 public fast charging stations across the country. From Parliament for Checkpoint, Benedict Collins.